Hi there guys, it's Kat here. Hopefully you have listened to the story of the hare and the tortoise that I read to you earlier, and now I'm going to give you some instructions for a craft that you can do to go alongside our story. If you have received your Ykids pack, everything that you need should be within that pack. You've got a set of instructions on how to make it so that if I'm going a little bit too fast, you can read along with me. You've got the outline of your tortoise ready to be cut out, and you should also have some white pages to go along with your tortoise, because here is where you are going to be writing your very own story. The only other things you'll need are a glue stick to do some sticking and your scissors to cut out all the pieces. If you need to go grab them, pause me now and go and grab what you need, and then get ready to do some making. What we need to do first is we need to take all of the pieces of our tortoise here, and we need to cut them all up. So cutting around the black edges here. So here we've got all our separate pieces, okay, including the shell here. Now, before you stick them together, you might want to do a bit of decoration on your tortoise, on its face, on these things. You can see here on your instruction, we've got a lovely shell and it's got some toenails and things like that. So you might want to do the same thing before you start sticking them together. And all we need to do is a little bit of glue. So get your glue stick from your pack. Put some glue on the very top of the leg, and then slide it under where you want it to go and give it a good press down there like that. And we do the same for all of the others. So hopefully you've got a tortoise and he's got 4 legs. Now you don't need your head just yet, and we don't want to stick that down because that is where our story pages are going to go. So hold that safe to the side, ready for when you need to use it. Now we need to make the pages for our storybook. So you should have in your pack have had 2 of these pages. And the pages are going to become your story pages. That's why we've left them white, so that you can write or draw on these pages. So the first thing you need to do is cut these out. Now you might want to draw on them first, so that you know how many you need to cut out, rather than cutting all of them if you won't need them. And all you've got to do is think about the story you've heard and pick the bits that are the most important parts and draw or write on the pages what happened in the story. When you are ready to do the cutting out, you just need to cut around the outside just like we did before. And when you've got all your separate pieces like we've had, obviously again yours will be beautiful with story and all of those things, we start to stick them on. But be careful, now they've got the story on, you're going to need to make sure that you put them in order. So because our tortoise is going to be our story and they're going to flap up like that, you need to make sure the beginning is what's on top and the end is what we stick right at the bottom. So we actually stick the end down first. Now your very, very last one, you can stick a good amount of the top. So we want probably the top half covered in glue there, so that then when we stick him on to our shell, he's gonna stay there nice and firm, solid like that. And then for every other page that you need, instead of sticking so much of the top, because we want it to be able to flap, we're only going to stick the very, very top part. So you only want your bit of glue along this top part here. And when we've done that, we then stick it on top as neatly as possible on top of your previous page, because then it'll be able to fold up like that and you'll still be able to see what was said underneath. And we just keep going with that for as many of them as you need. Once you've got your completed story in its pages like that, that is where our green head comes back in, because it is going to be what we stick at the very top to cover our story. Again, we don't want to stick it down on full, because otherwise we're not going to be able to read the rest of our story. But we do want to just stick the very, very top of the green head, so that then when we turn it around, and again we try and line it up so that it looks almost a secret that there's a story under there, because you can't see any of the story pages. Stick it down, fold it back so that you can see your story, and there you have it, your very own Hare and the Tortoise storybook.